Good evening, I am Ifrulagi Singlama and these are the headlines of the hour. The Madhesh government promises to build houses for the poor through the Janata Awas program but fails to meet its targets. Houses built are of poor quality with budgets being cut. India continues its financial aid to Nepal exceeding 11 billion Nepali rupees, the same as last year. India announces a defense budget of 6.81 trillion Indian rupees. All 6 passengers killed in Philadelphia medical plane crash, including a mother and her daughter. Many injured on the ground as home ablaze in the aftermath. And organizer Tiger Group secures its position in the final of Tiger Cup volleyball tournament women's category. Gandagi province volleyball team secures a spot in the final from men's category. The Janata Awas program launched by the government in Saptari to build homes for the poor has failed to meet its targets. The public housing initiative struggled due to the government's lack of focus on quality during constructions. The public housing program for the poor and disadvantaged communities was initially implemented by the Union and later by the Madhesh Province government. Under this program, 4 families from Bishnupur Rural Municipality 1, Khurihuria in Saptari are set to receive new homes. When construction of the ward office building began on land where those families had lived for generations, they sold their agricultural land and purchased 0.231 acres of land for 2,100,000 Nepali rupees. This land was then entrusted to the Urban Development Office, which has since been renamed the Infrastructure Development Office. However, the 4 families have not been able to move into a house built under the Janata Awas program. The reason is that the house had collapsed during construction. After purchasing land in an uninhabited area and beginning construction, the building was destroyed in a storm.
अपनो मर जेतिए धियो पुत को मर जेतिए कना के ओइ घर में रही अपने मने ईटा झड़ झड़ खसै छै जम्मे ईटा झड़ झड़ खसै छै बढ़िया कोनो डुप्लीकेट घर बना दे घर नाने बनबर घर याल रे जनता पास नै बनबर के गुमा घरवा सब जगह अपन 2 कट्ठा 6 कट्ठा जगह रे 5 कट्ठा तो मोल ला के वो बेच के जगह त अपन जगह ले लिया बसे द्वारा आ खाय पिए लखनी दुख सब मरे छी खाय पिए न बड़े छ
The house built 6 years ago under the Janata Awas program for the Guruvaka family in Agnisar Krishna Swaran rural municipality of Saptari remains incomplete. The beneficiary claims to be exhausted from visiting the office multiple times and is currently living in a hut that was rebuilt after their original house was destroyed.
Time दे 10 दिन का टाइम दल के महीना दिन का टाइम दल के वो टाइम पर जाइए टाइम आवे टाइम पर जाइए तो फिर टाइम बढ़ावे उठना सा ना टाइम दे हम लोग को दौरे थक गेलिए.
The Infrastructure Development Office in Saptari, the concerned authority, has dismissed the issue, stating that the situation occurred due to poor quality cement despite substantial budget being allocated.
राज्यले दिने भनेको जस्तै जुन चाहिँ छ नि 3.5 लाख हो प्रति आवास त्यो 3.5 लाख भन्दा 4 लाख त दिन सक्दैन नि त राज्यले. जे छ त्यहीमा गर्ने हो भनेको आफ्नो घर आफै बनाउनु पर्यो त्यहाँ केही चीज छ भने त्यो त आफैले गर्नु पर्यो नि त.
The government provides 350,000 Nepali rupees for the construction of each house under the Janata Awas program. While quality houses have been built in other areas of Saptari, progress in this region has been slow. Out of the 891 houses planned in Saptari, 498 have been completed, 34 are under construction, and 89 have not even started. Now, with the Madhesh government stopping funding for the housing program, construction of the remaining houses has been halted. In our Public Voice segment today, we have asked in several provinces why are the programs announced by the government for the benefit of poor citizens remain ineffective. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
शैलीहरु चाहिँ प्रभावकारी नभएको मूल कारण चाहिँ यो हो.
दबावमूलक समूह नभएर पनि होला एउटा कुरो. अर्को कुरा चाहिँ अब विपन्न भनेर कसरी त्यो चाहिँ क्याटेगोराइज गरिएको छ.
विपन्न नागरिकहरूको तथ्याङ्क राज्यसँग सत्य तथ्य छ कि छैन अब त्यो एकातर्फ छ.
बोल्न सक्ने क्षमता अभिवृद्धिका तालिमहरू हामीले केही दिएका छैनौं.
गरिबहरूको माग के हो, आवश्यकता के हो, यस्ता कुराको चाहिँ अध्ययन नगरी सरकारले जुन हचुवाको भरमा कार्यक्रम ल्याएको छ।
यस्ता कार्यक्रमहरू चाहिँ कहाँ अन्त डाइभर्ट भएको कुराहरू पनि देखिएको छ।
सरकारले विपन्न वर्ग भनेर त बजेटहरू छुटाउँछन्, विपन्न वर्गको लागि भन्छन् है, तर यी विदेशी आइएनजी र हाम्रो स्थानीय तहकोलाई सेमिनार गर्दै र होटलमा पार्टी गर्दाखेरि नै उहाँहरूको मिटिङ गर्दाखेरि नै आधी रकमहरू सिधिसकेका हुन्छ।
योजनाहरू नै भद्रगल तरिकाले आउँछ र कर्मचारीको पनि अलिकति समन्वय नहुने
घोषणा त गर्छ तर कार्यान्वयन गर्न सक्दैन।
हाम्रो पालिकाभित्रको जुन समन्वय छ त्यो आपसी तालमेल नमिलेर गर्दा पनि सञ्चार माध्यमको कमीले गर्दाखेरि पुग्न नसकेको होला।
पहुँच र पावरको आधारमा चाहिँ वितरण भइरहेको छ।
विपन्न अलिक गरिबले भनेको त्यो कागजै पुर्याउन सक्दैन।
India has maintained its financial aid allocation for Nepal at 7 billion Indian rupees for the next fiscal year. Nepal will receive the same amount as the previous year, which is around 11 billion Nepali rupees. India's Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman announced that today that Nepal will receive 7 billion Indian rupees in aid. Among South Asian countries, the grant to Afghanistan has increased from 5 billion Indian rupees to 10 billion Indian rupees. Assistance to the Maldives has risen from 4.7 billion Indian rupees to 6 billion. However, aid to Myanmar has been reduced. According to India's union budget, India will provide 3.5 billion Indian rupees this year, a reduction from 4 billion last year. India, which allocates the largest share of its aid budget to Bhutan, has cut grant assistance this time. Last year, Bhutan received 8.7 billion Indian rupees in grants, but this year the amount has been reduced to 3.7 billion rupees. However, loan assistance has set to 17.5 billion Indian rupees. In total, Bhutan will receive 21.25 billion Indian rupees in aid from India this year. India's budget has prioritized key sectors including eradicating poverty, ensuring 100% quality school education, expanding access to health care, and producing a skilled workforce. An ambitious plan has been introduced to involve 70% of women in economic activities. The budget also announced a full income tax exemption for the middle class earning up to 1.2 million Indian rupees annually.
No income tax payable up to income of 12 lakh rupees.
India has adopted a flexible policy for the import of renewable energy and import of raw materials, offering exemptions to manufacturing industries to boost employment. The strategy aims to facilitate electric vehicle and mobile phone production while attracting more foreign investment.
दर नै घटाइदिएर ईभी गाडीहरू इन्डियामा व्यापक मास रूपमा प्रोडक्सन होस् र मोबाइल ब्याट्रिजहरू चाहिँ यही बनोस् भनेर त्यसलाई चाहिने इक्विपमेन्ट्सहरू त्यसलाई चाहिने मिनरल्सहरुमा पनि घटाइदिएको छ.
India has announced 10 billion Indian rupees fund for startups to boost domestic trade and employment. Likewise, Dhan Dhanya Krishi Yojana aims to enhance agricultural productivity in 100 low-yield districts, reducing production costs.
कृषि वस्तुलाई चाहिँ प्रभाव पर्ने हुन सक्छ र त्यहाँबाट अझ थप चाहिँ नि कृषि उत्पादन यहाँ हुने सम्भावना हुन्छ र हाम्रो कृषि उत्पादनको प्रतिस्पर्धात्मक क्षमता चाहिँ कम हुन सक्ने सम्भावना छ.
India proposed a defense spending of 6.81 trillion Indian rupees for the 2025-26 fiscal year, up 9.5% from the previous year's initial estimates. This year's defense budget will be 8% of the total budget. Now moving on, CPNUML's Central Cooperative Department and the National Cooperative Federation has recommended amendments to the government's cooperative ordinance. Department Chair Khagaraj Adhikari and Federation Chair Om Devi Malla submitted a recommendation letter to Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli in Balwatar suggesting amendments to the cooperative ordinance for the replacement bill. They proposed revising the provision that limits individuals to 2 terms and restricts them from serving as directors in cooperative focused on savings and loans. In response, Prime Minister Oli said that as a joint government, he had consulted with other political parties while drafting the replacement bill and assured them of further action. Welcome back. Destruction of grasslands and wetlands is reducing suitable habitats for birds. A bird specialist reported that 132 bird species are in endangered list, including 39 found in mountainous regions. Habitat loss, poaching, use of pesticides and population growth are contributing to their decline. The eagle, white-eyed and needle-tailed birds are now nationally endangered. A study by various conservation organizations confirms the rising endangerment of birds in the Tarai. The number of nationally endangered species of birds in the Tarai increased from 104 in 2014 to 132 in 2017. A 2011 report stated that 149 bird species were endangered across Nepal.
करिब 40 प्रजातिका चराहरू विश्वमै दुर्लभ संकटापन्न अवस्थामा छन्.
In 2017, the number of endangered bird species in Nepal was reported as 169, while the Bird Conservation Association recorded 172. A study at the end of 2025 will reassess the number of nationally endangered birds, with ornithologists predicting an increase in their count. Himalayan Nature Organization reports that 84%, which is 142 species, face threats due to habitat destruction, while others are risked from pesticides and poaching.
अनि अर्को कारण भनेको चाहिँ चराहरूको चाहिँ एकदमै चोरी सिकारी चाहिँ भइरहेको छ. अब यो निकुञ्ज क्षेत्रमा पनि भइरहेको छ र निकुञ्ज भन्दा बाहिर पनि भइरहेको छ. पुरो निकुञ्ज क्षेत्रमा चाहिँ अलिकति कम भइरहेको छ.
According to the Ornithologists Association, Nepal is home to 897 bird species. Among them, 650 resident bird species live in Nepal year-round, most of which rely on trees. There are 150 migratory species, 65 summer visitors, and 32 nomadic and wandering species. Now, police have revealed that the girl's murder in Kalerwa, Biratnagar 5 involved her mother and members of her maternal family. Police found the buried body of 14-year-old Chadani Yadav behind Sarjuk Mandar's house in Kalerwa, Biratnagar 5. Her parents had brought her from India to end her love affair. According to Morang police spokesperson Ved Prakash Joshi said she was killed on 24th of January and her body was buried that night. Her mother returned home the next morning. 8 people, including her maternal grandparents, are in police custody with further investigation ongoing. It is time now for international news. All 6 people on board in a medvac plane that crashed in Philadelphia last night were killed. The plane included a child and her mother, a doctor, a paramedic, pilot, and a co-pilot. The Federal Aviation Administration, FAA, said that the Learjet 55 plane en route from Philadelphia for Springfield in the Midwestern U.S. state of Missouri had just taken off from the Northeast Philadelphia airport when the incident happened. The plane crashed a short time later, less than 4 miles from the airport. It came down in a busy intersection near Roosevelt Mall in a densely populated residential area. The crash set multiple homes and cars on fire. Jet Rescue Air Ambulance, the company operating the plane, confirmed that the aircraft was carrying 4 crew members, a child patient who had just finished treatment in Philadelphia, and the patient's escort. Several people on the ground were reported to have been injured. Now, Hamas has handed over U.S.-Israeli dual national Keith Sigel, the last of the 3 hostages released on Saturday by the group, to the Red Cross at Gaza port. Yarden Bibas and Ofer Calderon, a French-Israeli dual national, were handed over by Hamas earlier on Saturday to a Red Cross official in the southern Gaza city of Khan Yunis in the latest stage of a phased exchange of hostages for Palestinian prisoners. The initial 6-week ceasefire, agreed with Egyptian and Qatari mediators and backed by the United States, has so far stayed on track despite a number of incidents that have led both sides to accuse the other of violating the deal. The Hamas attack on October 7, 2023 killed some 1,200 people and took more than 250 hostages. According to Palestinian health authorities, Israel's campaign in response has destroyed much of the densely populated Gaza Strip and killed more than 47,000 Palestinians. We have more news coming up, but right now it is time for yet another short break. It is time for Sports Update.
Sports News.
Welcome back. Organizer Tiger Group has secured its position in the final of Tiger Cup Volleyball Tournament women's category, while Gandaki Province Volleyball team has secured its position in the final from men's category. Host Tiger Group defeated New Diamond 3-1 at Pokhara Stadium to reach the women's final after a comeback victory. New Diamond finished third. In the men's category, Gandaki defeated 3-1 Army Club 3-1 in a second qualifier to secure a place in the final. Army settled for a third place. Both Army and New Diamond will receive 185,000 Nepali rupees. In the final match, Tiger will face APF Club, while Gandaki will compete against Police Club for the title. It is time for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
But before today's question, let's take a look at yesterday's poll. Yesterday, we had asked you, why has the exodus of skilled manpower continued unbattered? 61% voted for A, search for opportunity, 29% voted for B, lack of government investment, and 10% voted for C, temptation to go abroad. And here's today's question. Why do you think Nepal lacks a covered hall for volleyball despite it being the national game? Your options are A, government apathy, B, weakness of Nepal Volleyball Association, or C, lack of budget as an excuse. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B or C and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. Now, Nepal has faced its second consecutive defeat in the Women's T20 International Tri-Nation Series with today's loss against Thailand by 4 wickets. Nepal, who batted first at TU International Cricket Ground, struggled and posted a total of 101 runs, with Kavita Kuar and Bindu Rao scoring 25 runs each. Thailand's Tipatsa took 3 wickets, chasing a target of 102 runs. Thailand won with 6 balls to spare, led by Koncharnokkai's unbeaten 60 runs. Manisha Upadhyay took 2 wickets for Nepal. This is Thailand's second straight win, and Nepal will face the Netherlands next. That is all for the moment. Thank you for watching. Good night.